There's been a question that's come up like a lot. What kind of gear do you use? We'd like to see behind the scenes, your lighting's good, and what do you use for the gear to make the videos? And so we thought this is a good time to do it. And I've got Brady here, Brady Winder.
How's it going?
He has been backing up Nate and I in our video efforts here for a couple of years.
A couple of years, something like that.
A couple of years, yeah. And Brooke, you've heard us mention Brooke. She handles a lot of the editing. She lives remote and she uses Premiere, great program. Nate learned it, taught it to her, and so they help us a lot. So Brady, I'm going to pick your brain. You're going to explain to these people what it is that you understand about this, because you understand this in the way I understand hammers and anvils and
Let's do it, man.
All right.
I love nerding out.
All right.
Yeah.
So, first of all, we're going to cut to the chase and just let you guys know that the stuff that I film or the stuff that I do with a Hero 9 GoPro. I like this very simple clamp. I can clamp it to anything from the cab of my excavator to the handle of a shovel to a tripod. So I do that, and the voiceover we handle upstairs in my office. But these cameras, we got an 80D, a 90D, and lenses. What do we got here, Brady? How in the world does it work?
Well, you want to tell them I'm trying to sell you on switching to iPhone. I'm trying to convert you.
Actually,
we'll see how it goes.
See, he's done it actually. He thinks I can start using a new iPhone. What is that, a 16 Pro or something? Three camera lenses on the back. He thinks I can improve the indoor footage that I capture over GoPro with an iPhone.
The GoPro's got some serious pros to it. It's easy, it's durable, it's small, swap out batteries, but yeah, let us know in the comments, what do you think of the quality of the other videos, and what do you think iPhone versus GoPro, but we're gonna try that out, we'll test it out.
Yeah, there's a couple things that have to happen. I depend utterly on the voice activation of the GoPro, and I'm hoping that I can sync my Apple Watch with my new iPhone and be able to start and stop and start and stop without going over and putting a greasy finger onto the, that drill.
Yeah.
But these bigger cameras and the gimbals and the lenses, I know nothing of this. What is this camera right here?
So we'll show the A-cam setup in a second, where we shoot all these talking heads, these vlogs, but we have our B-cam set up for a lot of the footage we do when we're mobile right here. We've got a gimbal. This is a Weebill gimbal, similar to like a Zhiyun gimbal, but pretty straightforward gimbal, battery operated. It's got a small rig handle on here. It just gives a little bit more stability. Kind of hold on to it with a strap here. But yeah, pretty straightforward gimbal. And then we have a 80D. We have an 80D and a 90D that we alternate through. We've got a 25mm Canon lens on here, and this little addition, which I really enjoy.
This is new. That's a win.
Yeah, this is something new, especially when you're shooting in a crowded, dirty shop and you're getting into tight spaces.
Crowded, dirty shop.
It's very clean. Just having a little bit of light on top of the camera. So this was a small rig light, model Vibe P96. I don't know, like $30 off of Amazon.
Yeah, $30, and it just sits right on there and it illuminates what you're looking at.
Yep, so that's a cold shoe mount, meaning it's battery powered. Yeah, so we got the 80D with the 25mm lens. I more often shoot with, here, we'll put this to the side so we're not blocking you.
Got it.
I more often shoot with this lens. This is a Canon EF 24 to 105mm lens. Just gives me a little bit more versatility, because being locked down to one lens is hard. So just being able to crop in when I need to is nice.
So I've watched these guys struggling with, you change lenses and you got to rebalance the gimbal. And that gimbal, so this thing is possessed. There's a gremlin that lives in here. I have no idea how this works, but he gets along with it fine. And Nate does too. But swapping the lenses back and forth and builds in some effort there, right?
Yeah, it can get obnoxious sometimes. So sometimes I'll just be, just a strap, no gimbal at all, and just using my body to kind of stabilize and yeah, just roll with it. But I don't know, I like having a lens where I can get like a really tight, close aperture, like really shallow depth of field, really tight focus, and but then being able to quickly go back to like a wide-angled shot with a 24mm. That's really nice. So yeah, I don't know, I like those. And then we have the 90D, which is nice because it shoots in 4K. You can, faster shutter speeds in 4K, that sort of thing.
So he threw out a term that some of you may find as obscure as I did, A-cam and B-cam. We're talking to the A-cam right now. It's the one that he tells me, pay attention, here's the main camera, watch this camera, and then he's doing, some ancillary filming with the B-cam. B-cam's related to B-roll. A-cam is related to A-roll. It's kind of a primary, secondary designation.
Yeah.
And that A-cam is what? What did you say that?
This is a Canon C100.
Big, heavy thing.
Discontinued now, and now they have the Canon, I think it's C200 or C2000, so I don't know. But C100 works really great. We'll show you guys that in just a sec.
Okay.
But let's look at some of the other stuff. So as far as mics, we are using, show you what we used to use. Actually, so we used to, actually, before I was working with you guys used a lapel setup,
We've used a lapel, and the cord went down around, the
Yeah.
and the receiver was back behind me hanging on my suspenders. And
Yeah.
we did it a long time.
Yeah, you guys use a wireless lapel setup, which you get a little bit better quality with the lapel. I'm an audio guy, and so I kind of like the quality of a lapel in the right spot. But when you go through $80 mics and
Yeah.
cables all the time, it gets kind of annoying. So we started using these Rode, I think it's the Rode Go mic, when these first came out. And then not too long after we started using those, DJI, I'm sure you guys have seen these all over. If you're into gear, DJI came out with the DJI mic. And now they have the DJI mic 2, but that's what we're both wearing.
Yeah.
It's really nice because it's kind of like an AirPod setup. They just pop out there, clip them into the case recharges them, and they can either clip on, they have little clips on them, or they have magnets on them.
Yeah, the thing
The magnets.
Two stories. So first of all, these are neat because, I mean, I've been out in the field and Nate or Brady's filmed me, and the voiceover or the monologue is crisp and present and unchanged volume levels. I mean, whether I'm out there a ways or right back here,
Yeah.
it's really a nice capacity. But he mentioned there's a magnet on these, so it's on the back, all right? And one of the first times, I think it was a 65-year-old tradesman's perspective,
Yeah.
we got done, we put the gear away, and one of these was gone, just gone. And I gave my grandson a $50 reward, and he went over this shop and he sifted the gravel, and he didn't sift the gravel.
And you can't buy just the mic, you got to buy the whole
Set for
Yeah.
several $100s, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Well, we gave up. It was gone forever. The Cave of Wonders had devoured it. And one day I was moving a lawn chair, and it had apparently knocked off and had attached itself to the back of the steel back of a little lawn chair, and the magnet just had it right there. So anyhow, so we pay attention now. Brady keeps an eye on me when I start moving around with his microphones.
Yeah, good old magnets. They're also really good for picking up steel dust too.
Yeah.
Everything's lots of steel dust.
Yeah.
What else as far as accessories? We got the GoPro, a couple of SD card cases, nothing fancy.
Yeah, we've got a little primitive thing where we film, we take out the SD cards, Brady kind of puts them in the right spot, and then I swing out by Nate's place later in the day, and he uploads them into the NAS. You want to explain to the people what a NAS is?
Yeah, I'm not too much of an expert in this. We have a NAS server where it's basically just hard drives with redundancy. So you have a physical hard drive and then another hard drive backing up that hard drive.
Total of 5. There are 5 hard drives in that NAS. Boom,
Yes.
boom, 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 boom.
So a lot of redundancy, and it's all being backed up to the cloud so that Brooke, our video editor who is working remote in Arizona, we can all access the files all from Nate's house. So that's super nice.
Yeah.
And everything's got to be dust-proof, waterproof in this shop.
Thanks for that. He's right. He's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been, I mean, the learning curve has been, the little bit that I've learned about this has pushed me way outside of my comfort zone, and there's value in that.
Yep.
And it's nice that, Nate figured all this out the hard way. Brady's come to us with a lot of experience and background information and professional training in some of this, which is really great. But in general, these things have been made so user-friendly that if I can do this, anybody can do this. And there's nothing wrong with a GoPro in a lot of situations, yes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
they're nice.
easy.
It's easy.
Yeah.
Let's show them the A-cam.
Yeah, let's look at the A-cam in the shop. All right, here we go. This is the first time you're ever going to see Scott filming, so hopefully this all works out. I'm just giving you a hard time.
I earn it.
So this is our A-cam setup over here. I just thought it'd be cool to give you guys like a behind-the-scenes look at our film setup. You might be thinking, wow, this is a little bit crude for a YouTube channel that's been going for a long time, but I don't know, we just like to keep things simple, and like why fix it if it's not broken? So if you come over here, we've got the Canon C100. It's a little bit of an older camera at this point, but it's just a dedicated video camera, which means no 30-minute time limit. Big fat battery means we can shoot all day, which is really nice. You got the viewfinder and the monitor. XLR inputs for audio, which is really nice. And so we've got the DJI receiver for the microphone in here. What else? We got 2 SD card slots, so that's really nice. And got a pair of headphones on here. Always checking it with headphones. And then for the lens, this lens is probably around, I don't know, for $600. This is a Sigma 1835 lens. So it goes from an 18 to a 35 millimeter. And that's one of my favorite lenses. It gets all the way down to like 1.2 aperture. Really nice, crisp lens. I just love that. But this is the setup we do right here. This camera is usually sitting a little bit further back. I'm cropped in on Scott, shooting down at the table here. I don't know, Scott, if you can see the light in the setup and the table. Yeah. And then we have, for our lighting setup, we've got this Amaran, this 200D light. So it's adjustable brightness. It's not adjustable temperature, which we don't need that, but it's adjustable temperature. Brightness. So we can, adjustable brightness, so we can really crank it if we need to. But this is what I added probably within the last year that really improved the lighting setup that you guys have been commenting on. And this is probably going to completely blow out the shot. In fact, I'll actually turn it off. But what helps us get this nice directional light is this grid diffuser. So there's a white diffuser in here that kind of softens the light so you don't get hard shadows. And then this black grid keeps it pointed in one area so you don't get light spread everywhere. It's just casting it down on Scott and just gives it that really cinematic focused look. So we have that one setup there. And then if you look, I don't know if you can catch that, Scott. We've got this light up here. It's not on right now, but that serves as like a hair light or a backlight just to give a little bit of separation between Scott, the subject, and the background. So we have a hair light there. And whenever we're shooting, our talking head or vlog styles will usually kill these lights right here. So we have no lights in the background and then Scott is lit, but that's pretty much it. And then Pelican cases all over the shop. Hopefully you like that. If you guys have any comments or suggestions or ideas, I'm always open to nerding out. I love suggestions. If you guys have any ideas for improving audio, video, lighting setup, anything like that, let me know. Let me know what you like. But we'll do a shop tour probably in the next couple months here. We're about due for one.
Yep, that sounds good.
We'll do a full shop truck tour. So thanks for watching, guys.
Okay, so Brady, kill the lights, the overhead, will you? Boom. So that is sunlight coming through the front door, no overhead light, and now he's going to turn on that big gridded there's that, and he's got the brightness way up, and now we're getting back down.
And then we will back this up.
Back out to the standard location.
And then we'll crop in. Boom. And that, for the most part, is the Essential Craftsman shot.
Yep, this is how we do it when we vlog. Now, let me just throw down a couple things. The first year, Nate just filmed with an iPhone. And the fact is that the content is way more important than the other considerations around the subjective quality questions of the video and the audio. If you've got to pick between video and audio, the audio is more important because people have to be able to understand and hear. And then at some level, as the quality of the audio goes up, it just sort of is a frosting on the cake, and everybody likes frosting on cakes. But I just want to recognize that Nate had to invent this wheel on his own. Clearly, I was no help to him. And we were making, I bet probably of our 800 videos, probably 400 of them were made with less than $1,000 worth of equipment. It just doesn't take a lot. We had the biggest problem figuring out the tripods, because when you're building a spec house, the last thing you want is a tripod collapsing, and it can't be too heavy to move around. And so there's some of the things that you wouldn't think are important end up being the deal breakers. And on the other hand, they can end up being the thing that really elevates. It's the tide that can lift all the boats. But all that to say, Nate brought us, to a point where it was good. And Brady has stepped in and he's bringing us forward some more, and Brooke carries the ball in so many ways, and Nate's in the background taking care of back end stuff. And personally, I'm really thankful for these young people. They're all so much younger than I am, that they bring their interest and their perspective and their expertise to teach an old dog a few new tricks. Thanks for watching Essential Craftsman, and keep up the good work.